Hello everyone, hope you're doing well and welcome to another video of Coding with Rohani YouTube channel. So in this video we're going to talk about forms. Before jumping over to the main point, if you didn't subscribe my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon so you'll get the notification of my new video when I upload them. Alright, so let's get started. So the form is used to collect user input. The user input is most often sent to the server for processing. The form element is used to create an HTML form for user input. So the form element is like a container for different types of input elements such as text fields, check boxes, radio buttons, submit buttons, and so on. So now as you can see on the screen, I have created a form element. So I'm going to remove this attributes because we don't need it right now. The next element that we can add into the form element, inside the form element, which it is a label. The label element is used for adding some information for user. So the label tag by default has the 4 attributes. So the 4 attributes, you can add the name for your label, like first name. F name will be first name. So this is the first tag that we are going to use inside the form element. And the next tag that we can use is input tag. So the input tag is used for inputting a data or some information. And this element can be displayed in many ways depending on type of attribute. As you can see, the attribute, if you want to display the text, so you need to add inside the double quotation text. If you want to display the password, you need to add the password. If you want to add this input field like a radio button, you need to add radio. If you want to display this input like a checkbox or a date and time or email, you need to select one of these options. And the next, you can add the name and value. So we are not going to use these right now. So this will be just for text. So that's it. For separating these into the next line, I'm going to use the BR element or break line element. So I'm going to create another label. This one will be last name, L name, name, and I'm going to add another input. So this one is also text because I'm going to add a last name into this. Let's separate this to next line as well, and then I'm going to add some other. So label will be, this one will be email, and let's add another input. So this, instead of text, I'm going to select the email, and let's break the line and let's create another label. So this will be password. So I'm going to use pass or password. Alright, so now let's create another input, and here I'm going to add the password. So when I save this and let's refresh, open the browser, and as you can see, this is the text field. This is the label, which is some information about these text fields. Now let's add some more options for this. So let's add a break align, and now let's add some like a radio button. So for this, what we need, add the label, gender, and let's add another input. So this one is going to radio, or you can add mail, and let's add mail here. and let's break a line, and let's copy this and paste it here. So instead of male, we're going to add female. Let's remove this as well, female. So that's it. Now, so we add the text, email, password, radio buttons. Now we are going to test the checkboxes. So let's add label. Again, we're going to add boxes. Here we need to add so first what we're going to do, we are going to add an h5 element. So here we're going to add some simple text, some information for user. So this one will be, which one of these languages is your favorite. I know the spell is incorrect, so now let's ignore this. Favorite coding or programming language. Add a question mark. So for this, first I'm going to add C++. Let's add here, and let's add an input. So instead of radio or simple text or password, I'm going to select the checkbox. So now let's copy this. Let's break a line and paste it here. Instead of C++, I'm going to use simple C. Let's break a line again, and let's save. Let's add a C#. C# here. Break line. Let's paste it again. Let's add Java. Or you can add again another language like PHP. So that's it. Now let's check this, how it looks. Let's save this. Let's refresh. As you can see, these are the radio buttons, and this is the simple text information, and you can check all of these or any language that you like the most, or you are working on the most, or your favorite language here. So this is the uses of the form. Now we have multiple more options for creating a complete registration frame. So as we have added the checkboxes or radio buttons, so we have another thing that we can add, which is the combo box. So for adding the combo box, we need to use the select element. So for adding the combo box or choose option menu, you can use the select element. So for this, let's create select, and the select element also has the default class and name attributes, which can be used in JavaScript or PHP. So we are not going to use this right now. We're going to remove this, and inside the select element we can use the option tags. So the option tag also has the default value attribute, so we are not going to use this for now because we don't need this. So here I'm going to create some options for the user. Beginner, and intermediate advanced can add advanced master, and the last one will be expert. Now let's save this, and now let's check how it looks. So let's refresh the page. So as you can see here, so this is called the combo box or the option selector, whatever you call this. So here you can choose one of these options for registration. Inside the registration form, it's very important to use this. So as we have used the select element and combo boxes, the next thing that we can use inside the first, let's add a heading for this, head 5. So here we can use here we can say for the user that this combo box is for choosing the coding level. So we can say tell us about your coding level. So if we save this and let's refresh this again, so this will be a little bit text or information for the user. And the next thing that we can use is that we can add a text area for this. So for adding text area, we need to use the text area element. So the text area element by default has the name, for giving the name for this text area, that we can use this inside in the JavaScript or PHP, and by default rows and columns. So the default rows for text area is 8 and the default columns are 80. We are not going to add anything inside this text area. So for this, first I need to add a label. So this one will be a little bit information for the user. So when we save this and refresh, as you can see, this is called the text area. So this is the text area where you can add an extra information. And the last one that we are going to talk about is the button. So the button is another element which has by default type and name attributes. So the type will be what type of button you are going to look. So here you can add the reset button, submit button. So I'm going to choose the submit button. So the name will be button, and here I'm going to add the submit text here. So that's it. Now let's refresh the page. So as you can see, this is the button, this is the submit button. That's it for creating a simple registration form. So let me add an heading 1 here. Simple HTML, or you can say HTML5. Now let's save this. So this is a simple registration form in HTML5. So that's it about form. So hope you understand, and if you have any question, please leave the comment below, and please like this video and share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. So in next video we are going to create a simple HTML website So because our HTML section is completed, we are not going to add any CSS in that website. Stay in touch and don't forget to subscribe.